everyone, my name is Mini Sethi. I hope you all are staying healthy. Today we are going to talk about most important theories of leadership for UGC NET in Commerce. First of all, we are going to talk about behavioral theories of leadership. According to behavioral theories of leadership, particular behavior of leader influence productivity, performance and satisfaction of their followers. And behavioral theories of leadership mainly talks about two types of studies, Michigan studies and Ohio studies. First of all, we will see Michigan studies. Michigan studies talks about two types of leadership style, production centered leadership style and employees centered leadership style. Production centered leadership style only focus on task because they believe employees are only for achieving their production goals. That's why they impose rigid rules and work standard. On the other hand, employees-centered leadership focus on interpersonal relationship and they treat employees as a human being, not as a machine. And they think about employees' welfare, motivation, and job satisfaction. Talk about Ohio studies. Ohio studies identify two dimensions of leadership. First is initiating structure, second is consideration. Initiating structure is task-oriented structure. Consideration is relationship-oriented structure. Task-oriented structure means you are only focused on production. Relationship-oriented structure means you are maintaining good relationship with your employees. Here we have four cases. First is low consideration and low initiating structure. That means neither you are paying any attention on task nor on employees. Obviously, these kind of leaders are absolutely useless because neither you are paying attention on task nor on employees. Second is low consideration, high initiating structure. That means you are paying more attention on task but very less attention on employees. You are not able to maintain good relationship with employees. Your employees will feel very dissatisfied. In this case, your leaders are very ineffective because your employees are dissatisfied. Second is high consideration and low initiating structure. You are maintaining good relationship with the employees. You are paying more attention on employees but very less attention on production. In this case, our leadership fail because you are not focusing on task. Eventually you are here for achieving your organization goal, your production goal. So this kind of leader also very ineffective. Finally, we have high consideration, high initiating structure. Here leader are paying high attention on employees as well as on task. This kind of leadership is very best, but this is not possible to achieve in real life. Now we will see Fiedler contingency theory of leadership. According to this theory, there is no one best leadership style. Your leadership must fit within given situation. It can possible you are best leader in one situation but you can become ineffective in other situation. So your leadership must fit within given situation. That's why this theory talks about leadership styles and situational favorableness. Leadership style include task oriented and relationship oriented leadership. Situational favorableness include leader-member relationship, task structure and positional power. Leader-member relationship means how much trust team member have on their leader. If team member have so much trust on leader, it will be in favor of a leader. Task structure. If team member have task clarity, it will be in favor of a leader. Positional power. If leader have more positional power, it will be in favor of a leader. We understand this theory with the help of this diagram. We have two curves. This blue curve represents task oriented leader. This black curve represents relationship oriented leader. And we have three situation favorableness as we earlier discussed: leader-member relationship, task structure and positional power. And we have three kind of situation: favorable situation, moderate situation, unfavorable situation. This part represent favorable situation, this part represent moderate situation and this part represent unfavorable situation. During favorable situation, you can see leader-member relationship are good, task structure high, positional power strong, weak. Only one time weak came, otherwise everything is going good. So it will be called favorable situation for leader. During unfavorable situation, leader member relationship poor, task structure low, positional power strong, weak. Only one time strong came, otherwise everything is going bad. So this will be called unfavorable situation for leader. So what leader will do during a favorable situation and unfavorable situation? During favorable situation, unfavorable situation, according to this theory, leader should adopt a task oriented leadership style. During favorable situation and unfavorable situation, leader should adopt a task oriented leadership style. Now we are going to talk about moderate situation. Here you can see during moderate situation, two time goods come, two time poor came, two time low came, two time high came, two time strong came, two time weak came. Means neither situation too good nor so bad. So it will be called moderate situation. During moderate situation, leader should adopt a relationship oriented leadership style according to this theory. Here you can see during favorable situation, task oriented leader is leading. This curve represents task oriented leader and this curve represents relationship oriented leader. During a favorable situation, task oriented leader is leading, and during unfavorable situation also task oriented leader is leading. But during moderate situation, relationship oriented leader is leading. So according to this theory, during favorable and unfavorable situation, leader should adopt task oriented leadership structure, but during moderate situation, leader should adopt a relationship oriented leadership structure. Now we are going to talk about managerial grid theory of leadership. This theory is given by Robert Blake and John Morton, and they identify two dimensions of leadership: concern for people and concern for production. Concern for people means you are focusing on your employees. Concern for production means you are focusing on task. Based on these two dimensions, they identify 5 main types of leadership style. First is one which is called impoverished management. Impoverished management means neither you are paying attention on your task nor on people. Obviously, these kind of leadership is absolutely ineffective. Second is 1-9, which is called country club management. Here you are focusing more on employees but less on task. These kind of leadership also very ineffective. Next is 9-1, task management. Here you are only focusing on task, only focusing on production and paying very less attention on employees. Your employees are feeling very dissatisfied. Obviously, these kind of leadership are very ineffective. Next is 9-9, which is called team management. Here you are paying more attention on your employees as well as on production. This kind of leadership style is best but impossible to achieve. Next is 5-5, which is called middle of road. Here you are trying to maintain balance between people as well as on task. Means you are paying equal attention on task as well as on people. And this kind of leadership style is possible to achieve in real life and effective also. Now we will see Hershey and Blanchard situational theory of leadership. According to this theory, there is no one best leadership style. Leadership change from situation to situation. Leaders should adopt their style according to maturity of employees. This theory identifies 4 main approaches of leadership. Telling. Leaders are very directive. They make all decisions. They just tell employees what they need to do. Selling. Leaders still make all decisions, but at least they communicate their ideas to their employees so that they can convince them. Participate. Leader work with their team member. Together they make decision. Delegating. Now leader assign decision making power to their team members. Means now team member can make decision on the behalf of leader. This theory also identify 4 level of employees maturity. M1. Low competency and low commitment. Low competency means employees don't have so much skill. Low commitment means employees are not willing to work. M1 means low competency and low commitment. That means neither employees have skill nor they are willing to work. M2, low competency but high commitment. Employees are willing to work but they don't have so much skill. M3, high competency but low commitment. Employees are not willing to work but they have so much skill. M4, high competency and high commitment. Both are high. Employees are skillful plus they are willing to work. According to this theory, leaders should adopt their style according to maturity of employees. Now we'll see trait theory of leadership. According to trait theory of leadership, leader have some specific qualities. They have some unique characteristics which make them special, or we can say that which make them leader. These qualities are ambition, energy, desire to lead, honesty, integrity, self-confidence, intelligence, and job-relevant knowledge. Now we are going to talk about great man theory of leadership. According to great man theory of leadership, leaders are born, we cannot make a leader. According to great man theory of leadership, leaders are born, we cannot make a leader. That means leadership qualities are found in heredity. We cannot teach someone qualities of leadership. For example, earlier people believed son of king only deserved to be king because only son of a king born with qualities of leader, not anyone else. Now we are going to talk about path goal theory of leadership. According to path goal theory of leadership, main task of leader is clarifying the path of their team members so that they can easily achieve their goals. This theory talks about four type of leadership style. Achievement oriented leader. These kind of leaders set a very challenging target for their employees. Directive leader, these kind of leader give right direction or specific guidance to their team member. Supportive leader, they show concern and give support to their team member when they require. Participative leader, that means they take ideas, suggestion from their team member, participate them in decision making. So this is all about theories of leadership. I think you got it, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye, take care.